Hello friends, I present to you the book My Journey with Law and Justice. This is a book by Professor Dr. Balram K Gupta, who is a Professor Emeritus and Senior Advocate, was earlier Director Academics at the Chandigarh Judicial Academy. In fact, he still is. The book carries a foreword by Justice Madan B. Lokur, and the book, which runs into 330 pages in hardbound, has been brought out by Law and Justice Publishing Company. I want to congratulate my friend Manish Arora of the Law and Justice for this book, a wonderful book which I recommend to all those connected with law. Is priced at rupees 795. I now read to you from page 153 of this book, which is part of the chapter, The Role of Judicial Academies. It reads, I started my teaching career in 1969. More than 50 years back, a young bright mind asked me how to be a good judge. Without a flicker, I had not anticipated this question. I said, be a good human being. I correlate this with an incident from the life journey of late Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam, former President of India. He was studying in his school. It was just after India got independence. His father was elected as Panchayat Board member, as also its president. He was elected not because he belonged to a particular religion, caste, spoke a particular language, his economic status. He was elected because of the nobility of his mind. In fact, because he was a good human being. The young Kalam was reading his book under the kerosene lamp. No electricity. He heard a knock on the door. They never used to lock the door. The man came in, asked Kalam for his father. Father had gone for namaz. Mother was also on namaz at home. She could not be disturbed. The gentleman had brought a gift for his father. Kalam told the gentleman to leave the gift on the cot. After a while his father came. He was asked, who has left this? The father was told, somebody came and has kept this for you. He found it contained a costly dhoti, some fruits and some sweets. There was a slip of the person who had left it behind. The father was upset. He was angry. He gave Kalam a thorough beating. Kalam got frightened. He started weeping. The mother consoled Kalam. The father lovingly advised Kalam never to receive a gift without permission. He was told receiving a gift is not a good habit. It is a dangerous thing. It is like touching a snake and getting the poison in return. There is always a purpose behind a gift. Kalam was reminded of what it contained in Manu Smriti. By accepting gifts, the divine light in the person gets extinguished. It places the acceptor under an obligation in favor of the person who gave the gift. Ultimately, it results in making a person to do things which are not permitted according to law. This incident carries a message for everyone, loud and clear. I believe that it is only the fortunate ones who get the opportunity to serve the judiciary. To do justice is divine service. Sacrifices are made. Judicial service is like the military service. Both services require making of sacrifices. The military service requires specified training and molding. The same is true of the judicial service. The Indian Military Academy produces cadet officers. The Judicial Academies produce judicial officers. They both are required to perform. Therefore, the academies are required to nurture and prepare them for the service requirement. It is in this background that the judicial academies need to review their role. Thus far, the basic focus has been to strengthen their legal knowledge base. The legal knowledge base is already there when they join the judicial service and come for training to judicial academies. It is on the basis of this base that the academies are required to mold and shape the future judges. Judicial academies should be the laboratories for judicial training. The classrooms of Judicial Academy should play the role of courtrooms. From law moots, we need to move to mock trials. Mock trials need to be conducted in the domain of specific legislations like POSCO and NDPS and human trafficking issues. Similarly, in several matters, there should be a full practical exposure of civil suit trials. Revenue matters need a special focus. The practical exposure of the same is of utmost importance. Judgments, writing skills need to be developed. Judicial Academy should expose the training judicial officers to case files. They should look into the factual canvas, appreciate the evidence, consider the law points, learn the skills of writing reasoned judgments. The Judicial Academies need to expose the judges in the making to realize the potential role that they are required to play. The field is open. Let the innovative minds come forward with new ideas. There is an ancient proverb, give a man a fish and you would feed him for a day. Teach a man to fish and you feed him for the lifetime. The Judicial Academies must train the young minds to think about applying the law in different factual situations rather than merely to know the law. The training of judges is different. Merely the knowledge of law is not enough. There is much more to that. Judges are to be trained to do justice, remove injustice. In order to play this key role, they need to develop scientific temper, be good listeners, good comprehension, compassion, humanism, feeling of empathy. Judges are to be trained to work sans their prejudices and biases. They must cultivate objective and neutral minds. They must keep company of principles of natural justice and due process of law. In short, Judicial Academies must nurture the young minds to use judicial culture in upholding the rule of law. The constitutional vision and morality must be the mindset of judicial officers. The Judicial Academies are now not made to merely feed the young minds with adult dose of what the law is. The Judicial Academies need to focus on what helps in doing wholesome justice. It is building positive attitude, killing negativity, nurturing happy minds. I firmly believe that judges need to be humble. It should be the part of the personality of a judge. I wish to share a story. Amitabh Bachchan was traveling by plane. He was at the peak of his career. An elderly gentleman was sitting next to him. He was simply dressed. He appeared to be middle class, well educated. The other passengers in the plane did, of course, recognize AB. This gentleman was not concerned as to who was sitting next to him. He was reading the morning newspaper, looking out of the window. After a while, tea was served. He started sipping. In order to strike conversation with him, AB smiled. He courteously smiled back and said, "Hello." They got talking. AB asked him, "Do you watch films?" The man replied, "Very few. I did see one many years ago." AB told him that he works in the movie industry. The man asked, "What do you do?" AB replied, "I am an actor." He nodded and said, "Wonderful." When the plane landed, AB extended his hand and said, "It was good to travel with you. By the way, my name is Amitabh Bachchan." The man shook his hand and smiled. "Thank you. Nice to have met you. My name is JRD Tata." No matter how big you think you are, there is always someone bigger than you. Be humble. It costs nothing. Thank you.